Okay, just think for a moment about the sheer scale of development happening across the Middle East. It's almost hard to wrap your head around.
It really is staggering.
And right at the heart of it all, you've got the architects and designers. These are, well, incredibly influential people shaping not just skylines, but whole environments.
Absolutely. They're balancing so much, aren't they? You've got cutting-edge design, but also this deep cultural heritage to preserve.
And sustainable development,
Yeah.
economic growth.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on. Creativity, function, aesthetics.
And it all needs to fit within the specific regional cultural contexts. It's a complex job.
It really is. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. We're looking at Construction Week Online's top 10 architects and designers in the Middle East.
Right. Using their list as a lens, basically.
Exactly. Consider this your inside look at the people and projects, quite literally building the future over there, our mission. Pull out the key insights, the fascinating details, understand what makes them tick.
And by looking at these leaders, we get a real sense of the bigger picture, right? The priorities, the trends in Middle Eastern architecture right now. It's a good snapshot.
Precisely. And yeah, all our insights are coming straight from excerpts of that ranking article. So shall we jump in?
Let's do it. Who's first up?
Leading the pack, no huge surprise maybe, is the legendary Norman Foster, founder and executive chairman of Foster Plus Partners, a truly global name.
Yeah, Norman Foster. His impact is just undeniable. So him being top of this list says a lot about his firm's continued influence, especially in this region.
And what's striking is the sheer diversity and scale of their Middle East work. It's not just one type of project.
Not at all. The article highlights some really visionary stuff.
Like the MALA airport design. From back in June 2020, the inspiration was, get this, a desert mirage.
Wow. That's quite poetic for an airport. It really captures that idea of blending infrastructure with a natural environment.
Doesn't it? It feels like it belongs there. And then you've got the coral blue concept for Red Sea Global. That was 2021. Imagine 11 resorts on a dolphin-shaped island, all inspired by nature.
Okay, that sounds incredible. And it speaks volumes about that growing focus on sustainable tourism, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Luxury, but with minimal ecological impact.
Exactly. It's a tricky balance.
This requires some really innovative thinking.
And their footprint across the region is just, wow. ICD Brookfield Place Tower, the South Sabah El Ahmad Master Plan, Kuwait International Airport Terminal 2.
Huge projects. Then there are the HQs, right? National Bank of Kuwait, Samba in Saudi Arabia.
Yep, plus the Zaid National Museum, Jeddah Metro, the House of Wisdom in Sharjah, which is beautifully named.
It is.
And the Jabal Omar development. That's roughly 2 million square meters of built-up area. Immense.
It just underlines the trust they've built up over years. These aren't small jobs. They fundamentally reshape cities.
And they're not slowing down. November 2022, they got the Palm Flower Luxury Residential Project, right on the Palm Jumeirah in Dubai.
Ah, prime real estate. The design for that will need to be something special. It carries a lot of weight building on the palm.
Definitely. And then, very recently, this provisional concept for a Skyport's vertiport terminal next to DXB Airport. It even got endorsed by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum.
Vertiport, so flying taxis, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Feels like sci-fi becoming reality.
That shows a real forward-thinking approach to urban mobility, integrating that kind of tech.
And just as a side note, the article mentions their Apple store in India, the BKC one. It's LEE Platinum certified.
Great, the highest level.
It shows the commitment to sustainability isn't just regional, it's core to their practice everywhere.
Exactly. Good design principles are universal, even if the application adapts locally. Okay, who's next?
Moving to number 2, we have Sean Killa. He's the design partner at Killa Design based in Dubai. Started up in 2015, but already made a huge splash.
Ah, yes, Sean Killa. Very well known for his focus on sustainability, pushing boundaries. His whole philosophy seems built around innovative, low-carbon building.
And his portfolio, I mean, it's got some real icons. Almas Tower, the Dubai Opera House.
And the Bahrain World Trade Center, that was a big deal, wasn't it? One of the first large buildings anywhere to actually integrate wind turbines directly.
It really was a proper statement piece back then.
Set an early benchmark for the region.
Then you have the Museum of the Future, which everyone knows, Address Beach Resort, W Hotel Namaste, Vita Dubai, Marina Yacht Club, Marsa Al Arab.
Shebar Island, too, that's a fascinating one. And the Akon Twin Towers?
Oh, and the Office of the Future, the world's first occupied 3D printed building. That's real forward thinking.
Definitely. The Museum of the Future is a global icon now, visually stunning. And the 3D printed office, while smaller, was a huge step for construction tech.
And they're keeping busy. Current projects. Jumeirah Marsa Al Arab Hotel, that Shaber resort in the Red Sea for Saudi Arabia.
Which sounds very eco-conscious given the location.
And the Palm Residence, Cavalli Residential Towers. Lots going on.
Shows their influence across hospitality, luxury residential. Shebara especially will need that strong ecological focus in such a sensitive spot.
And beyond the drawing board, Sean Killa is also a prominent keynote speaker, right?
Hmm.
Always pushing for sustainable buildings, better urban spaces, cutting emissions.
Absolutely. It broadens his impact, helps inspire others in the industry, architects, developers, policymakers, towards more responsible practices.
Good stuff. Okay, number 3, Shams Naga, founder and principal of Nagy Architects, and also founder and chairman of DHB Group.
NAG-A Architects, right. They've been around since 2000, offices in the Middle East, North America, a significant player.
And it seems 2022 was a particularly big year for them. The article calls it very successful. They expanded into master planning and infrastructure design.
Oh, interesting. That's a strategic shift.
Yeah, added about 40 architects and engineers. That's a
Ah.
big jump in capacity and scope.
Allows them to take on much larger, more integrated projects right from the start.
And they really strengthened ties with key Saudi entities, like the NHC and MoMarH, got involved in massive projects like Al Fursan and Al Khuzam.
Over 55 million square meters of development. That's huge. Basically designing new city districts.
Pretty much. And for clarity, NHC is likely the National Housing Company, MoMarH, the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs and Housing.
Right. Getting involved in those huge government initiatives really highlights their expertise and the trust placed in them for Saudi's Vision 2030 goals.
And it wasn't just public sector work. They collaborated with private developers, too, another 1.5 million square meters in Saudi. Plus, they were asked to draft architectural guidelines for several KSA regions.
Wow. Drafting the guidelines. That positions them as real thought leaders, shaping the standards for future building there.
Meanwhile, in Dubai, their Palm Villas project sold for a record $18.3 million.
Okay. So they're hitting the high notes in the luxury market, too. Shows versatility.
Definitely. And to boost their Saudi operations, they appointed Amr Atia as CEO of Naga KSA. He comes with experience from Wadi G, ACAP.
That's a serious hire. Signals a strong commitment to managing that growth in the kingdom effectively.
They also completed a bunch of projects in 2022, Saadiyat Lagoons, Nasaj Town in Jeddah, developments in Safwa and Riyadh, Khobar Commercial Plaza.
Sounds like a massively productive year. Showcases their ability to execute across different sectors and locations.
And something else noteworthy, their CSR work in Egypt, supporting hospitals with medical gear, partnering with NGOs on livelihood support.
That's great to see. Shows a commitment beyond just the bottom line, making a tangible difference.
Okay, moving to number 4, Pedram Rad, Managing Director of U+A. They were founded in 2006 and seem to be on a strong growth path lately.
U+A, yes. Their recent growth seems tied to strategic partnerships and expanding their services.
The article mentions a key partnership with Aegis. How does that kind of collaboration typically work or benefit a firm?
Well, partnerships like that can open doors to new markets, broaden the service range, create synergies. For U+A, linking with Aegis probably gives them greater reach, lets them tackle bigger, more complex projects, especially where Aegis is already strong.
Makes sense. And U+A has also grown in areas like landscape design for resorts, public spaces, plus urban planning, sustainability consulting, R&D, even CGI.
Right, a more holistic, multidisciplinary approach. Diversification like that is pretty crucial to stay competitive. Offers clients more integrated solutions.
And the team grew significantly, over 50 experts added last year, a 45% increase from 2021. That's rapid.
Wow, yeah.
Their Saudi branch saw big jumps in projects and contract values, likely thanks to that Aegis link, and overall revenue is up significantly too.
That pace of growth indicates strong demand, especially in Saudi. But it brings challenges too, right? Managing quality, scaling up effectively.
True. Some key projects.
Hmm.
2 high-end Red Sea resorts, the Sindala Island development that's got a hospitality village, yacht club, marina,
Sounds ambitious.
and Expo Valley, the luxury residential part of Dubai's Expo Legacy site. Their total Middle East portfolio is valued over $2.72 billion.
That's a huge number. Reflects the scale of developments they're involved in, particularly in key growth spots like the Red Sea and the Expo District.
The article does flag a challenge for them, though, resourcing and talent acquisition.
Not surprising. With so much going on, the competition for skilled people must be fierce across the region. Demand often outstrips supply in boom times.
Yeah, I bet. On the CSR side, U+A seems focused internally on a people-centric model Mobility, training, good environment for staff, and externally on integrating sustainability and net zero into designs, even if the client doesn't specifically ask for it.
That proactive stance on sustainability is admirable. Building it in as a core value, not just a response to a brief, shows real commitment.
Okay, number 5 takes us to Brian Johnson. He's the principal and managing partner of Godwin Austin Johnson, or GAJ, a very established UAE firm.
GAJ, absolutely. They have a long, respected history in the UAE, played a big part in the country's development over decades. Brian Johnson's leadership has been key.
They did the Dubai Creek Golf Clubhouse, right?
Yeah.
That's a real landmark. And lots of education projects, too. Key markets are UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, the Creek Clubhouse is iconic, shows their early influence, and education projects contribute so much to social infrastructure.
Brian Johnson credits their success to the team, which is always good to hear. Recently, they did the WB Abu Dhabi Hotel on Yas Island.
Ah, the Warner Bros. Hotel.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And the connected DoubleTree residences. Seems like they're strong in leisure and hospitality.
Yas Island is a major entertainment hub, so being involved in those high-profile hotel projects makes perfect sense. It aligns with Abu Dhabi's tourism strategy.
And they've introduced an internship program for university students, giving back, nurturing talent.
That's so important. Internship programs are vital for practical experience, bridging that gap between study and practice, crucial for the industry's future.
Definitely. Number 6 now, Karim Shengiz. He's the managing director for Mania at LWK Plus Partners, and sustainability seems absolutely core for them.
LWK Plus Partners, yeah, they've really positioned themselves as leaders in sustainable design, integrating green principles, new technologies. Karim Shengiz is clearly driving that in the MENA region.
They use energy-efficient tech, sustainable materials, passive design strategies, using sunlight, ventilation smartly in projects like DIFC Living and Innovation 2 in Dubai and the LOP in Hong Kong.
Right, things like green roofs, efficient systems. It's a comprehensive approach, looking at the whole life cycle.
Karim Shengiz also brings expertise in transit-oriented developments, TODs.
Creating walkable communities around transport hubs, very relevant for dense Middle Eastern cities.
And vertical urbanism, too, designing compact, sustainable high-rises. Again, seems vital with the rapid urbanization there.
Absolutely. TODs and smart vertical design are key solutions for managing growth, cutting traffic, and making cities more livable.
LWK also seems skilled at designing public spaces that encourage interaction, like their work for Darouich Company in Saudi Arabia, public squares, pocket parks, promenades.
Those spaces are essential for community building, quality of life. Shows they understand that crucial piece of urban planning.
A key strategy for them has been collaborating with local partners in KSA, the Middle East, South Asia.
Smart move. Combines their global expertise with vital local knowledge and cultural understanding. Leads to more sensitive, appropriate designs.
And like others on the list, they prioritize CSR too, aiming for a more sustainable and inclusive sector overall.
Seems to be a welcome trend, reflecting a broader sense of responsibility in the design community, using their skills for a better future.
Okay, number 7, Amar Al-Assam, CEO of Dawan Architects Plus Engineers. They've had a lot of success in the UAE and Saudi, especially in residential, hospitality, and education.
Dawan, yes, a strong, diverse portfolio. And Amar Al-Assam is clearly pushing them forward with expansion and innovation.
They're moving into markets like Vietnam and Iraq, planning to double their Cairo and Manila offices. That shows real global ambition.
Diversifying geographically like that is smart, reduces reliance on any single economy, helps long-term stability.
But maybe the most groundbreaking thing is their Metaverse Architecture Department, MAD.
MAD. Okay, tell me more.
They've actually bought virtual land in Decentraland, conceptualized their own metaverse called Babel 4.0 for cultural exchange. They're exploring VR AI.
Wow. That is seriously forward-thinking, exploring how virtual reality could genuinely change architectural practice, collaboration, even creating new digital spaces.
Fascinating, isn't it? And back in the physical world, they've secured big contracts with Red Sea Global, aligning with Vision 2030.
Right, so they're deeply involved in those huge Saudi giga projects, too. Shows their capacity for large-scale, complex work.
Other big achievements. The Nur Sultan Grand Mosque in Kazakhstan, largest in Central Asia, and lead consultant roles for the Amala Triple Bay Yacht Club, Port de la Mer, Reem Mall.
That's an incredibly diverse portfolio, geographically and by project type, shows real adaptability and a deep bench of expertise.
Number 8 brings us to Matthew Squires, CEO of SSH, UAE-based, operating across Minimore. Seeing more activity in consulting lately.
SSH, right. Sounds like they're focusing on consulting services and adapting their structure to be more efficient and client-focused.
Yeah, restructuring for agility, resilience, really understanding client objectives seems essential these days.
Absolutely. Agility and deep client understanding are key in consulting. Helps build those strong, lasting partnerships.
And it seems to be working. Their net revenue backlog is 60% above the previous three-year average. They're projecting 55% headcount growth in 2023,
Whoa, those are strong numbers.
driven mainly by KSA and UAE, but also expanding into Egypt. Paints a very positive picture.
Definitely signals strong confidence in their future and the market opportunities, especially in Saudi and the UAE. Egypt expansion shows a wider MEA vision.
They say they stand out by actively listening, learning, innovating, especially in building services, always looking to improve.
That commitment to continuous learning and innovation is vital in such a fast-moving industry. Keeps you competitive.
They also emphasize core values: agility, passion, purpose, earning trust. Plus, strict ethics, safety, environmental awareness.
Sounds like a solid foundation. Operating with integrity, responsibility towards clients, staff, and the environment.
Their mission:
Mm.
shape future environments through innovation, creativity, collaboration. A powerful statement that fits the region's ambition.
It really does. Captures the core purpose of good architecture and design, creating spaces that inspire and enhance lives.
Almost there. Number 9 is Paul Bishop, leading Bishop Design. Started in Dubai's Al Quoz, now very influential.
Ah, Bishop Design. They have a very distinct style, often quite bold, especially in hospitality and F&B. Their journey from local startup to international name is impressive.
And they've done some really exciting projects recently. Mesa at Tomorrowland's Terra Solis. 5 F&B venues in Riyadh's Laysan Valley.
Oh, and in Fuego at Atlantis, the Palm, right? The Colombian place.
That's the one. Sounds like they create really immersive experiences, not just spaces.
Yeah, that's their strength, I think.
Yeah.
Crafting those unique themed environments fits that growing regional demand for memorable experiences.
Dubai is still their hub, but they're expanding to the US and Saudi Arabia. Just opened a branch in Miami.
Miami, that's a big move.
No.
Shows their growing reputation and that their design style travels well. It's a competitive market there, too.
They've also grown the team, welcomed 10 new people, promoted 4 internally. Shows growth and investing in their own talent.
Crucial for sustaining that expansion and keeping quality high as they go more international.
And their CSR is interesting too. Collaborating with Habitat for Humanity, but also supporting a Colombian craftsman. Oliver, his handcrafted Chiva buses are displayed in Dubai.
That's a lovely personal touch.
Plus scholarships and internships. Seems like a genuine commitment to giving back.
Definitely. Shows a social impact focus beyond just the design work, supporting communities and the next generation.
And finally, rounding up the list at number 10, Mohammed Al Salmi, Managing Director, Partner, and Lead Architect of Holler plus Al Salmi, or H+S Oman-based.
H+S, yes. Strong reputation in Oman. They rebranded from Holler Plus Partner in 2016, right? Focused on growth and global presence since then.
Exactly. Celebrated 14 years in Oman in 2023. And in 2021, Mohammed Al Salmi acquired 100% ownership while keeping a joint venture with the German partners.
Ah, okay. So strengthening the Omani identity while still benefiting from that international link and expertise.
Seems like it. They've done some prestigious projects. Daba Archaeological Center, Kazane Economic City HQ, a boutique chalet resort in Jobel Akhtar.
Good range, cultural, commercial, hospitality. Shows versatility within Oman's developing economy. The Archaeological Center points to cultural sensitivity, too.
They've also done international work, Switzerland, London, expanding their reach.
Valuable for broadening experience, showcasing expertise globally, and bringing fresh perspectives back home.
And on the CSR front, developing an environmental awareness app, and heavily involved in training and mentoring Omani architects and engineers, supporting Omanization.
That focus on local talent development and environmental responsibility is key, contributing to Oman's long-term goals and a sustainable future there.
So we've gone through the whole list. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the big takeaway for you?
You know, what really stands out is just the incredible depth of talent and the sheer dynamism of innovation across the Middle East design scene.
Yeah.
These firms, these individuals, they're tackling such diverse, ambitious projects, huge master plans, intricate boutique designs. But there's also this growing commitment to sustainability, new tech, and social responsibility. It's really quite striking.
I agree. It's not just the massive scale, but the incredible variety. Airports like Mirages, museums of the future, luxury villas, entire economic cities.
Exactly. And that variety reflects just how multifaceted the region's development is, doesn't it? Infrastructure, tourism, culture, quality housing, it all needs sophisticated, context-aware design.
So here's a final thought for you, for everyone listening. Given this pace of development, these ambitious architectural visions we've talked about, what do you think the urban landscape of the Middle East will actually look like in, say, 10 years? That's the big question, isn't it? And what role will innovative design, and maybe crucially, that commitment to sustainability, play in shaping it? It really makes you think about how architecture impacts our daily lives and the kind of world we're building.